It doesn't get bigger than this, everyone. This could be the final episode of our Aberdeen series. We've always said we'll go until we win the Champions League, and today we have the chance to do just that. Not only will we be playing a Scottish Cup final, we've got to face off against Paris Saint-Germain, one of the best sides in world football, with a legendary team. I'll show you all the players they've got in a minute, but basically, it's pretty much going to be impossible that we win the Champions League today, but in football, you never know. So let's run the intro and get right into it. Hi everyone, Jake here. Welcome back to the Aberdeen series. Hope you're all doing great. 2 cup finals today. As mentioned, you can see them up here. Inverness in the Scottish Cup and PSG in the Champions League. It could be potentially our last episode of the series. It's going to be an incredible one. But before we get into it all, as this may be the last episode, I'm going to ask all of you just to go down, hit that like button. Takes a few seconds and it's completely free to do, but really helps the channel. And if you are someone who's this many episodes in and you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, this could be the last time I get to ask. So if you could hit that button for whatever comes next, whether it's another season with Aberdeen if we don't win today, more than likely, or whether it's a new series or whatever we might end up doing, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Comment down below whatever you like. I'll read them all and get back to them when I can. But yes, it's a massive one today, and let's get all the details out of the way. Firstly, what have we done since you last saw us? You last saw us lose against Ajax, and since then we beat Hearts in the league, then 2-2 away to Celtic, 3-0 against Livingston, and that has now meant we are champions of the Scottish Division for the 3rd year in a row, 10 points clear of Celtic as well. With a win in the Premier Sports Cup 2, we're potentially on for a treble because in the Scottish Cup, we're playing Inverness, who, to be fair to them, decent side of course, but they're 11th place. They got 27 points, we got 98. You'd assume we should be able to beat them and win the treble. And then who knows, maybe a quadruple against a PSG team that is stacked, but we'll get onto them in a second. First, we need to focus in on this Inverness game. Now, there's a week between the games, so I feel like we can field our best 11 against Inverness, get some fitness into them, and make sure that we get a win, which we should do anyway. I'm not going to take them lightly, of course, but I do think this is a match we should be pretty comfortable in. Here's a team that we're going to go with. It'll be Torkelson in goal, with Estevez at right back, Sarr at left back, Veletic and Beso, Gomez, Ibrahimovic, Kozlowski, Apatre, Pereira and Wilhelmsen. Now, Ibrahimovic, maybe we won't play him in the final, we'll see, but all our players know each other well. We've got the lines coming off them. They know how each other will move. They're a very well-oiled team at this point, and I hope that'll mean we'll have a strong chance of winning today. I'm just going to make sure we've got some real good talent on the bench should we need it, should we have to call upon it. But I think we're sorted. I think we're ready to go. The PSG game is going to be more of a focus in this episode, so I won't take too long focusing on this Inverness match, but I do think it's one we should win. So let's get out there and hopefully all will go well. Let's see what we're going with. Inverness, every time you've played them, I feel like it came up when I was loading up this game to say the last 5 times we've played them, we've won, and I don't see why that would change today, particularly when we've got our first 11 out here. Now, their lineup is a 4-4-2 in today's match, and I think overall we should find this pretty comfortable. Let me slow this down. But what we will need is an early goal or something like that, because if Inverness somehow get one, suddenly this game becomes nervy. But if we score here after only 3 minutes, it will be a fantastic start. And Apatre takes it to the byline, finds Ibrahimovic. I said we might drop him for the Champions League final. He's heard me, he's came on the pitch, and he's scored straight away. So it looks like we won't be dropping him after all. But great play by Apatre on the byline. Ibrahimovic made it with that original pass. Apatre with a Lord Farquaad style haircut, did a little cut back on the byline, pulled it back, and Ibrahimovic finished brilliantly for a 1-0 advantage after only 4 minutes. I'm pretty sure there was a cup final a season or so, or 2 seasons ago, where we won something crazy like 7 or 8-0, and maybe today's going to be another one of those occasions. Maybe, though, it'll just be a nice, comfortable 1-0, no one will get injured, everyone will be fine, we'll see what happens. But 20 minutes in, we are dominating possession, we're dominating the chances, and if we can secure a second goal here, might be too early to say it, but I would be thinking game over already. Although, of course, if Inverness score, suddenly it's 1-1 and it's game on. But we'll see what happens. It's Clark going forward. He plays a long ball through. Beso heads it well. Kozlowski tries to initiate a counter, and he's picked it back up. Van Pereira again. Great ball through to Wilhelmsen, who lines up the shot, should be finishing, and he does miss. It is the one place this season where I feel like we've lacked immense quality, and that is up front. Wilhelmsen and Duke score goals, they do well, but I don't think either of them are, Champions League level strikers consistently. And if this does go on for another year, this series, if we don't win the Champions League, of course, we will continue until we do. But if it does go on, I have mentioned before, but I will be looking for a new striker, someone that can score 40, 50 goals a season, and I don't take that lightly. I feel like that's something we should be able to do with a real quality striker in the Scottish divisions, and we'll see what we can do, because we do have an insane £40 million budget and loads in the wages, like 250k in the wage budget. Before that, the most we've had is like 10k in the wage budget and maybe 4 million to spend. So we've got a huge budget compared to before. But there's Ibrahimovic going close, hitting the bar, and Oscar Pereira follows in for his 20th goal of the season. He's been on fire this year, and he's one of the few players that we have that has interest from other clubs. And as good as we're doing, of course, the reputation of Aberdeen still hasn't grown to the point where we can compete with the likes of a Man U, a Chelsea, a PSG, a Barca if they come in for our players. So we need to be careful there. But Pereira is someone who might leave. I know Estevez at right back has interest from, I think it's Roma and Chelsea. So if we do end up going on for another year, there's a lot of big changes that could potentially happen with this team. But in terms of this individual match today, it's gone to plan, exactly what we'd want. Inverness aren't offering a real threat. We've got all the possession and having all the chances. It couldn't go much better than this so far. But if we can add a third before half-time, we'll be laughing our way into that half-time break. And we can start to think about resting people ahead of the Champions League, making sure we don't get any injuries. But Inverness do go forward. It's a long ball up, but Torkeldsen, being as tall as he is with the 20 aerial reach or whatever he has, he's going to claim that all day long, and it's something that he's brilliant at. And he kicks it long. His kicking isn't exceptional. We see it there, and it's gone all the way back to McCracken in the net for Inverness, who clears it long, and hopefully we can win the first ball and get that third goal here. It's Gomez, plays it to Kozlowski, Wilhelmsson, plays it to Pereira. He needs to square this, really. He's going to go alone. He doesn't need to square it at all, because he finishes fantastically with 3-0 up. Pereira is the man of the moment in this first half, scoring twice. Brilliant play by Wilhelmsson to play him through there. Great football all around. It was really incisive. Every pass you'd want them to make, they did. Here, I thought he could maybe have squared it, but once he gets close like that, look, if he wants to finish, he can, and he has absolutely done that brilliantly. We're going into half-time with a 3-0 advantage, and it looks like the Scottish Cup and the treble for these domestic divisions will be coming home with us today. Every trophy we've been up for in a domestic stage, we've won. Of course, if we don't win the UCL this year, if you remember in last episode, we have qualified for the Club World Cup, so that'll be something extra and interesting that we have to deal with, and we probably need some extra squad depth to do that. But yeah, I think everything's going exactly how we'd want in this series. 5 years in, we should be nowhere near a Champions League final, yet somehow we are. The players are playing out of their skin. I think we're going to get absolutely battered by PSG, mind you. I don't think we have much of a chance at all, especially considering it's not at our stadium. It's a neutral ground. By the way, brilliant finish there from Wilhelmsson. Set himself up, put it into the corner. Pereira with a great assist. But yeah, if we were at our stadium somehow, obviously we wouldn't be in a UCL final, but if we were, maybe we stand a chance. But we're going to a neutral venue, to Real Madrid Stadium, and I'm just not too confident. Obviously way better than being at their stadium, but we're not going to score many goals against them. That's near enough a given. So the only way I can see us winning something is maybe we get one goal and somehow don't let anything in. Maybe we somehow grind it out until penalties and win that way. I'm not sure what will happen, but yeah, I'm not massively confident for PSG, but I am massively confident that we are going to win the Scottish Cup here, and we're going to rest some of our more important players to make sure everyone's fit and firing for that game. I'm going to make sure Pereira stays fit, the same with Apatre, who's been very important for us recently, and I think other than that, the only other sub I'll make is maybe Estevez off for Mike Wilson, and that is 5 subs used. Hopefully gives us a bit of extra fresh legs around the pitch, gets us another goal. The more goals we score, the better form everyone's in, and it's crazy to think that we are basically using this Scottish Cup final as like a way to build up our form before the big European game. Really, this is absolutely simple for us. It's a walk in the park, perhaps even easier for us than a normal league game against Inverness. I feel like the occasions got to them a bit because they're not doing anything at all in this game, and usually they can at least offer some threat, but it hasn't been that way for them today. But here's Beso to Kozlowski. It's fantastic football. Volomark's in on that right-hand side, cuts it to Odebert. Odebert scores. The football is amazing. The way we're playing is fantastic. Players scoring all over the pitch. Pereira was on his 21st goal of the season. I think it said Odebert there has got 17. So you can see, even though our strikers maybe aren't scoring 40 goals a season, combined, our inside forwards on the left are near enough doing that job. Great finish from Odebert at the near post, exactly what you'd want, him following in there, making the run, and we make it 5-0. Hopefully we can keep the clean sheet. Inverness do go forward here. Kozlowski heads it away as far as Odebert. It comes out to Brunt, into Armstrong. Is he going to get the goal for his team? It deflects. It's kind of cleared away. I feel like we've done enough. Is the highlight that, or is there more to come? We'll see. It's Heldasar heads it away. It looks like something else might be happening here with Odegaard. He kicks it long, switches a play brilliantly to Ibrahimovic. Duke is in. We call him direct Duke. We know we do. When he gets through, he goes straight in. He doesn't mess about. He just runs forward and hits a shot. It's exactly what he's done there. Not really much technical ability in it at all. It's been saved, gone over, but that's the kind of threat he offers. And maybe that kind of thing will be useful against PSG should we need it later in the game. But I think the 11 that we started with here is the 11 we will play against PSG. They've earned the right to do so. We're 5-0 up here in the Scottish Cup. The treble is about to come home. We kind of just want time to tick on. That way no one's injured, no one's going to miss the game or anything like that. We want to have a full fresh team, but our team isn't giving up here. They want more goals by the looks of it. But I'd rather us just take it easy, take it slow. There's only a couple minutes on the clock. We're going to lift the trophy in a few. Here we go. The referee's about to blow his whistle, and we have won the treble. All the Scottish Cups we could potentially have won, we have done it. We're going to lift the trophy here. Hopefully we're going to see another trophy lift in today's video against PSG, but it'll be a very hard one. We've done fantastically well. Most of this cup run was done by our rotation side, so the fact that we've got here so easily really is impressive in its own right. But there we go, we lift the trophy in a few seconds. They're taking their time, really building it up. There we go. All the confetti goes off. We're on the left-hand side there with a blue tie on. Torkeldsen towering over everybody else, or 9 foot of him or whatever, but we've done it. Brilliant win. Another Scottish Cup in the bag. We've won that for the last few years. We'll say well done to everybody. I think it just said that Pereira was annoyed that he didn't get a chance to score a hat-trick after his team talk. But I'm just trying to protect him for the Champions League, so hopefully he will forgive me there. But yes, we've got a week to get to that Champions League game. Hopefully nothing drastic happens in the meantime. But once we're at that match, I'll let you know. Okay, it's game day here against PSG, and just for reference, no matter what happens here in this game, it's going to be game-changing for the series. Either we win the Champions League and it's over, or we lose the Champions League final, but we've got tons of money to spend. And also, as the transfer window is coming up, look how many players have interest in them. Estevez, Milan and Atletico Madrid. Beso has got Torino, Sarr, Torino, Gomez, Bournemouth, Kozlowski, Inter Milan, Pereira, Liverpool, Wilhelmsen, Club Brugge, and that's not including Fivey, Odegaard and Dor. So many players have interest in them. We've got such a huge budget, and it could be a hugely changed squad next season. I don't know what's going to happen. It's all up in the air right now. But today, we just need to make sure we give our best efforts in this PSG game. We've had it before in these kind of series where we come up in a Champions League final too early and it doesn't go well. But we are a team here who win a lot of our matches, as we are better than most teams in our league at this stage. And within the game, it gives your team a lot of confidence when you're winning. So when we come to these Champions League ties, our team are firing so much that they come into these matches against huge sides and are still able to play really well. So maybe we can lean on that today, get a win out of absolutely nothing. But PSG's side is an incredible one. Didier Deschamps is their manager. Their current team, I believe they used the rotated side in their last game, but the side that they're likely going to play against us will include Mbappe. They've got also Jamal Musiala, Vinicius Jr. at this point, an incredible front three. Hakimi, Ruben Neves, Marquinhos is there still, Eric Dyer of all people, Warren Zaire-Emery, Prisnel Kimpembe, loads of great talents, and it's really not going to be an easy match today. But you know what? We've just got to go for it. There's nothing else to do. I'm not going to change our tactics or anything like that for a one-off match. For me, we're just going to play our own way, and hopefully that will work out nicely. But I suppose you never really know how these things are going to go. I'm just adding some extra players to the bench, as I've been told that we can. So let's put them on. And we'll leave Clarkson out. We'll leave Ewan Kidd out. There's a team we're going for. Everybody, cross your fingers. I don't know if you've been around the channel for a long time. Most of you won't have done. But before big games, we have a little poster of Danny Drinkwater up there, a signed photo of Danny Drinkwater. It's a joke from a long time ago, but we used to pray to him basically before games. So everyone, pray to Lord Danny Drinkwater. Hopefully that will help us get a win. I've also got a PSG shirt behind me there. I don't know if you can see it on the wall. I don't know which side to move. But if we lose today, that's going in the bin. Put it that way. But here's the team they're going for. Musiala, Vinicius Jr., Neves, Fabian, Kimpembe, Galen, Amai, Hakimi, Mbappe, and a guy up front who I don't recognise. So I'm interested to learn about him, considering he's leading the line for PSG. He obviously must be decent, but I don't know who he is. Nene. Okay, he's a 24-year-old Malian striker called Dorgalese Nene. Is he PSG Academy product? He's not. They signed him from PSV Eindhoven, but when we started the save, he is playing for... Really? Is it RB Salzburg player that's been on loan? never really scored a crazy amount of goals until he came to PSG basically and scored loads. And he looks like quite a dangerous player. I guess it's the electric pace that will do it. Yeah, okay, so he's going to be a real threat today. He might not be the world's best finisher, but he is quick as anything, and that could cause our backline some issues. They're not the fastest in the world, but you know what? It's happening. We're underway. It's better than Mbappe being up front, I suppose, but he'll be on the right-hand side, so he'll be taking on our left back. Is the game going quick there, or is that just me? No, it is just me. The game's going normal speed. But the first highlight we're seeing is after only 5 minutes. Hopefully it's not as conceding early on. If so, what else can we do? I mean, they're a fantastic team. It is that Nene that we spoke about. He's in, he blasts it onto the crossbar, and we survived the first attack of the game, but that was far too easy for PSG. He is just going to use, like, he could be no talent at all, but because he's got really, really quick pace, he's going to get past us no matter what. And then you add on to the fact that he is actually quite talented, and he's someone that's going to cause us a lot of concern. But here's Javi Galen, already on a yellow card, takes a shot. Torkelton with a big save, but maybe that'll play into it. He's on a yellow, maybe Apatre can get up against him. He is their left back, and, you know, give him a torrid time. He won't be able to dive in without getting a red. But it was a good shot from him. Torkelton makes a big save, and we're going to need him to be on form today. Another chance for Mbappe there, captain of the club, number 7. Oh my God, it's just going to be highlight after highlight, isn't it? If we could score a goal right now, it will completely change the way this game goes. PSG will change the way they play, and everything will be different. But if we concede early on, it is going to be a struggle. But I really think we're going to struggle to even get a chance in this match. So we'll see. But it is Amé coming forward to Musiala, Neves, Nene on the ball. He's gone back to Kimpembe. Is the ball there to be won? Or is this just PSG playing it slowly, ready to cut through us when the chance arises? I feel like it might be the latter. And it's Vinny Jr., Ruben Neves, we can't get a foot on the ball at the minute. Fabian, you've got to be honest, watching it, it's brilliant football from PSG, and they've got stars absolutely everywhere, and they're just playing it round us like we're not there, like we're statues. And Musiala is in here, he's gone all the way on his own, flipping out. I mean, how he didn't stop him, I don't know, but the football was brilliant beforehand, just triangles all around us. But once he starts running, no one could keep up with him. And then he just finished so easily. The fact that he's ran from this position and ran all the way through and scored, questions have to be asked of the defence. Is that Beso? It is Beso. I'm not happy with that at all. He basically started off at the halfway line, ran the length of the pitch and scored. PSG 1-0 up. Looked like they could score another 10 at this rate, and it might be an embarrassing day for us. But we've got to remember, we're very lucky to even be here. We've done exceptional to get this close. So you've got to be proud no matter what happens. But it may be that we get absolutely smashed today. But here's Apatre trying to stop that happening on the counter-attack. He's going forward. We might not get many chances this game, so we've got to take it well. Goes for the long shot. Arguably not the best decision. Donnarumma claims, but it's our first chance of the game, our first shot on target. The PSG are dominating chances and possession in the first half an hour, but we've given it a go. We had a shot at least. Maybe next time we can have a shot in the box, we'll see. But Torkelton makes a big save there, claims the ball from a free kick, and we play it forward, but we're giving it away far too cheaply here. We can't just throw the ball away like that. And Mbappe now finds Neves. It's Hakimi, quality all over the pitch for PSG. One of the teams we wouldn't have wanted to face, particularly at this stage. Nene goes close, Veletic with a block. Apparently he's offside. But we are nervous in this game, man. This is a real struggle. I don't think it's going to let up either. I feel like PSG are just going to go for the full 90, continually battering our net. But again, one goal completely changes it in our end, but it doesn't look like it's happening. Nene's in here with his electric pace. He rounds Torkelton. Oh my word, what is happening? Did that deflect? I don't know. He basically chipped the goalkeeper, hit the post, nearly bounced in. They should be 3 or 4-0 up at this stage, it feels like. We are absolutely hanging on in here, and half-time can't come soon enough. We need to survive this corner first, so it's Hakimi driving down the byline, finds Kylian Mbappe, and Apatre does well to step in, puts it out for another corner, but Mbappe then was shaping up to curl that into the corner. Another set piece to survive though, he plays it in, we managed to get ahead to it. Apatre, there's no one there to help counter-attack. I am thinking it might be a day for Duke. I mean, the guy started with us in this series. Maybe he's the one that wins us the Champions League. It'd be an incredible story if so. But Wilhelmsen not having much luck up there, not being able to really bring the ball down. And if we're just going to play on the counter-attack, as it seems we have been, maybe Duke's the way to go. I'll give it until the 50th, and then I'm going to make the changes. Usually I go 60, but I think 50 here. We need to give ourselves a chance. We're starting to grow into it in a possession sense, but chances, absolutely nothing really. Only one sub to start off with, just Wilhelmsen, off for Duke. See if that changes the game at all. Likely chance it won't, but we know he's got pace. We know he's got that direct ability. And I'd absolutely love it if he's the one that somehow, gets us back into a Champions League tie. And here he is, the man of the moment, Duke, doing exactly what we brought him on to do. Just run into the channels, pick the ball up and get us forward. And it's the first time I've seen us play 3 passes together. Hopefully we'll end with a highlight for us. Duke. No. Don't you dare blow him offside. Was he off? It's going to VAR. I said I didn't want any VAR decisions, but if Duke scores here, flipping out, it's been disallowed. I got so excited then. It was such good football, actually. Pereira, brilliant ball through to Duke. He was quite a distance offside, but I just had my hopes up. He finished it brilliantly. It's the kind of runs we need him to make. That will either be, something that inspires us and makes us play well now, or it's a wake-up call to PSG and they're going to kill us off straight away and make it 2-0. We'll see. It's straight from the free kick that they got given from Duke's offside. Musalia finds Mbappe, Ruben Neves, Fabian. We've won it back? No. Surely we're not going to score. Apatre, Pereira through to Duke. Is he onside this time? I don't know. Oh, he misses. Oh, he was onside as well. No flag has gone up. But that direct ability is clearly working. Our XG's gone up to nearly 1 in the time since he's came on. Maybe somehow Duke is going to be the man to do it. He's going again. He's given him a torrid time. Go on, Duke. No way, man. If we somehow pull this back to 1-1. Kozlowski. Oh, bloody hell. We're growing, though. We're growing into this game. It might be coming. You can see everyone's average match ratings are going up too. We're going to demand a little bit more. I feel like we're right there, right on the brink of scoring. We're going to need some other substitutes now, though, to give us some fresh legs. And as much as I love some of these players and I think they're fantastic, we're just going to bring them off for the sake of having some fresh legs. And I think Guy Buer is a fantastic player still. We're going to bring him on. Sergio Gomez not having his best game. Let's bring on Sheridan Dorr. Also, Helder Sarr not playing great. We'll go for Wilson Esprand. And then one more sub. Do we bring off Apatre or Pereira? I'm going to bring off Pereira for Odebert. I love Pereira, but I think Odebert's a more capable sub than bringing on Volomark for Apatre. And Odebert is French. He's played for Lille before. Maybe he'll be able to help us score against another French side. And in the 80th minute, we have a highlight. It's Duke playing a ball forward to Ibrahimovic. Doesn't get there, though, and the ball goes out to Hakimi. If we press him in this corner, we could win it back, but we aren't able to. And Mbappe finds Neves to Hakimi, who's, absolutely rapid and is going to run down that right-hand side all day. But Beso steps through, intercepts the pass. We go back to Torkelton. We're going to try and build it out. Again, PSG could score here and make it 2-0, but it's been fantastic to even keep it at 1. We've done really well today, and you never know what could happen in these final 10. Wilson Esprand to Beso. I just feel like something's coming, I really do. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but I feel like it might actually happen. It's Duke. Gives it away, and it might actually be a PSG highlight, unfortunately. Veletic, though, could bring it down calm. He does. Quite a long highlight, which usually means it doesn't end up in a goal in FM, based on what I've seen. But Odebert is in. Odebert cuts it across. Duke. Oh, so close. The man is pacey. He's quick. He's physical. Horrible to deal with, but he's not the world's best finisher. That might cost us today, but maybe we should have started with him. I don't know. It's over. PSG have won the Champions League against us. It's horrible to watch, to be honest, but you know what? That was an absolutely fantastic effort. To come this close is just insane. A Champions League final for our Aberdeen team, to take one of the best sides in the world to right until the 90th minute. I'm a bit lost for words, to be honest, because I thought we might win that. But fair play to PSG. They do deserve it on the course of the whole game, but I just thought something was coming in those final, 30 minutes or so. If only that goal from Duke that was offside had counted. You can see the dejected Aberdeen fans. Musalia with an incredible goal, but in the end, we ended up giving them pretty much as good as we got in terms of chances. Very close to getting a win. Duke ends up on a 6.4, so you can see even though he did so much, the game clearly thinks his finishing ability let us down. Really unfortunate, but you know what? We did ourselves proud. That's all we can say there. You can't complain about anything in that match. And now we're going into a new transfer window. It's going to be a new era at the club. If you look financially, we've got £88 million in the balance. Like our assistant manager is saying, we played well. We can hold our heads high. Yes, we're devastated getting all the way to the final and losing. We've done so well there. We were this close to glory, and I really do believe with a few changes in this team, if we can get to another Champions League final, we could give PSG as good as they gave us there. At least we won one trophy today. The Champions League, though, will be ours soon, and this won't be the last episode of the series. So I'll see you in the next one, hopefully for a bunch of transfers. If you have enjoyed, smash the like button for us, subscribe for more, and cross your fingers that next time we can win the UCL.